Lazy Webby ain't on nobody list.
But
go ahead.
Go to Germany, go to Paris, anywhere in Europe.
That matters.
Africa. You ain't hearing Boosie.
You're not.
You're gonna hear, I'm in the club, bottle full of bubs. That's what you're hearing.
That's one album though, bro. Like that's the only album that penetrated that way, bro. Remember that. That's one album.
Wide.
Yeah, one album though. That's one album.
But
and then his second album was okay and everything else was flop.
Everybody else we're talking about had that one album. But why ain't they heard in Germany, Japan? Like 50, like he can't even travel like that no more because of what he's done in music and business.
I love you, bro. You grasping. You're not making the point when we talk about music. You're not making that point for me. He had a classic album, one mid album. He only put out 5 albums. That's a short body of work for anybody. Post 2012, he stopped rapping. He put out 2 singles since 2012. That's a decade. So that means his whole musical career was 10 years long. That's it.
Talk about it
at the most. If you count the mixtape 50 and all that shit. 2000 to 2012. He ain't been relevant musically in a decade, bro. So like, you can't do this because you like 50. Think about what he actually did in hip hop.
Right.
Power shit is dope. BMF is dope. His business is dope.
He going
Bronson,
in.
What's up, y'all? But did you do enough musically to make the list? Yes. But does the other shit, is it so big that it pushes you to tier 2? Absolutely not.
Boom.
Like, come on, Gabe.
Okay.
This is
y'all hearing this, right? Okay.
This is a great cliffhanger, my friend. See, that's why we bring Black to the show. Because Black sets it up. He don't even know what he's doing. He didn't even know he's doing it. But he's setting y'all up for one of the best cliffhangers in podcast history right now.
There it is. There it is. My man, Blackout. What's going on, people? It's what we talking about. 5:30, 2023, if y'all can believe that already, man. Salute to everybody. I hope you had a great, wonderful weekend. I know I tried to enjoy the weather as best I could. And by that, I mean, I did a lot of yard work with wifey. We was out there. We was trying to get things together, get it right. So hopefully y'all got to enjoy family and all that. And, hopefully those who, served and sacrificed their lives for this country, hopefully they were recognized in a very respectful manner. I saw some cool things on TV, a couple cool things on YouTube, saluting everybody. So salute to that. Black, man, how you doing, brother?
Blessed and highly favored, man.
All right.
Yeah, Memorial Day weekend is always bittersweet. For me, I got my Memorial Day weekend chain on. Yeah. Yeah, that's my new thing right now. Trying to get y'all. I'll let y'all see what that ice look like, right? But I got Memorial Day weekend chain. Check it out.
What up, Chris?
You know what I mean?
Look at you.
It's a little icy dog tag. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And, I thought it was fitting. Today. So, but nah. I mean, the other side of that is, I did a couple parades. Enjoyed that 3-day. Cooked out a little bit. All that good and fun stuff. And just like I said last week, I wasn't going to be seeing Gabe, and I didn't see Gabe because I invited him and he ain't come outside. So
He didn't do that.
Definitely, I invited you right in here. Y'all heard me say that. And what did I tell y'all? No flicks with me and Gabe were taken this weekend.
Yeah, I didn't get invited anywhere. I just want y'all to know. Nobody reached out to me. Yeah, that's so foul and snaky. Crazy. That's all cap right there. Yo, salute to everybody, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Rec Boys in the building. Matter of fact, Rec Boys, check this out. Look at that. Look at that. See what I did there? You see what I did there? I got my gear on. I said, what up? We out here. Rec Boys every Wednesday, 7 p.m. I got some Rec Boy joint on. Yeah, I got this one last year, man. Come on, y'all. Hit that like, hit that share, get up in here. We got a special guest host coming on a little bit later, gonna have some fun with us. I live on the 5th floor. I may or may not have heard it. Listen, what I want to know, what I really want to know is, did you think Boston was going to win that game going into the game?
I don't know if the fix was in with the rolled ankle. Like first play, you roll your ankle, and that's it. Like that's just whatever, bro. Just fuck. Throw the whole series away. Right. Boston is the better team, but I swear to God, they don't know how to play consistently. Like they just, yeah, whatever. Denver finna get that. Denver in 5. It don't even matter, bro.
I seen Denver in 5 quite a bit, man. Does this and it doesn't like lie in your conscience a little bit that this Heat team just keeps doing it as the underdog. You can't foresee them beating Denver in any way.
Here's what it is, boy. Here's what it is, right? Them boys is hungry. They playing with house money, right? Mm-hmm. So if you watch the game, it ain't so much that like they dribble better or they can shoot better. Right. It's that they don't give a fuck.
Right.
Like Gabe Vincent, Matt Stru, them up, they it's house money, bro. So they just out. They just running up and down the court faster. They out hustling. You know what I mean? They shooting up shots they would never throw up because it's all house money. And like they going in, like they're on an NBA roster because they can shoot, right? They can handle, they can do whatever the case may be. But they just playing without fear because it's all house money. They're not supposed to be here. So there's no pressure. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown was feeling tons of pressure. And Game 7 showed that. Like Miami ripped their fucking heart out. By the way, I don't want to make this seem like Jimmy Butler beat them because he really didn't. It's really just the dudes that we just named out hustling everybody else.
Yep.
But the fact is that Boston got 2 top 25 players in the league. Would you agree?
Boston?
I put Tatum in like the top 7, and I put JB in like the top 25.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, they got 2 top 25 players. I think Jimmy Butler might be a top 25 player. Might be. Like he's more Scotty than MJ. And I think the playoffs are showing that. Like we give him all these props about what he does and what he can do and things of that nature, but he ain't been the catalyst for his team winning none of these games. It's everybody else, and then he just goes and takes the last shot because he's Jimmy Butler. Like watch the games, bro. It's everybody else. It's Duncan Robinson with 6 threes. It's Gabe Vincent shooting every fucking thing that touches his hand. You know what I mean? It's Max Strus hustling. It's Bam Adebayo getting every offensive rebound. It's everybody else is putting up 20 plus points who shouldn't be doing it. And he'll give you 18, 7 and 7. It ain't Jimmy.
Yeah, this Heat team though, it reminds me of like the championship giant, like the New York Football Giant teams. Like they go and they're like individually they're okay, they're pretty good, but collectively they're really hard to beat. You know what I mean? And they proved that twice over. You know, like and it just. I don't know, man. It smells like that to me, bro. It does. What's going on, Sam? Let's Get Activated podcast in the building. I'm gonna be on there on Thursday, actually.
Sam didn't invite me, so I'm not going.
I don't know. I didn't watch Denver so closely. You know, I know they got dude, the Messiah right now over there, but like,
bro.
Yeah,
they
man,
ball.
So, but I would not be shocked if I seen Heat win 4-2. You know, it just wouldn't shock me because they just did it all playoff long. You know what I'm saying? But
Jokic is not Tatum. Like that man coming to play. Jamal Murray is not Tatum. If you watch games, I want to get off sports, bro. I hate doing this. But like if you just watch like Game 7, like the first quarter, Tatum just runs and hides in the corner. Like he was literally avoiding did you watch the game? He was avoiding the ball. That's not the first time he does. Anytime he gets down, he avoids the ball. Yeah. It is so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird. And it's like, whatever, bro. Whatever. Like they still young. What are they, 20? I think he's 25. I think Jaylen Brown is 26. They still young. You know what I mean? But you 5-6 years in, LeBron was in the finals. Like that, like rookies make all-star teams now in the NBA. Like this is not Jason Tatum, let's just say this if you don't agree with my top 7. Jason Tatum is a top 10 player in the league already. You agree?
Yeah.
Like you can't name 10 people better than him in the NBA right now. On talent, maybe in production, but on talent, nah, he can do it. He can do it all, right? So like when you that guy and you playing next to a top 5 two-way wing, like you're not supposed to like play down. You're not supposed to run from the ball. Like you got all the makers of a championship team up and down that roster, bro. Like your sixth man is a starter on every other team in the league. Like Malcolm Brogdon was an all-star, bro. Like rookie of the year. Like he put up 27 and 7 in Indiana. Like he's a starter on every other team in the league. You feel me? So like that's a luxury. Your point guard is the reigning defensive player of the year. Like these are like you're not playing with just like okay dudes. The reigning defensive player on the league is your starting point guard, and your backup is a starter on every other team in the league.
So what up, Rocky? Let's go Heat, he says.
I'm gonna leave it at that, bro. I just think that Boston played down. I think they need some changes, and I think Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum need to be separated because their games are so similar. They don't complement each other.
Yeah,
they don't.
Yeah.
They don't. They need an actual big. They need a rangy big man. Because Tatum, even though he plays the 4 in like they regular lineups, he's more of a 3. He's more of a ball handling wing. Shoot it, like, drop, slashing kind of guy. He's not really a 4.
Like if you took Bam and put him on the Celtics.
If Bam was in the Celtics, right, that's exactly what they want out of that position. You know what I mean?
I like him.
That'd be crazy.
I like him, man. I like Bam. He's pretty dope. He was dope in the game when I was playing the joint. He's dope. He's a good player. All right. So your take is Nuggets in 5. I'm saying Heat in 6 just to do it. You know what I mean?
That Kool-Aid.
Yep. Last week we left y'all with a pretty good cliffhanger. We were talking about the top 50. We kind of want to get into that talk ahead of our guests coming in, and then we could include our guests on some talk about the top 50. We left y'all with 50 Cent, and Black was making the argument, as you heard in the pre-show. Was he really done? He's been quiet for a while, and this, that, and the third, and making valid arguments as to like how much classic music did he really produce and all that. Cool. But the fact that, he does have one classic and then a fairly good album and then a great album with G Unit, right? For me, I'm going to tell y'all, he's going into my tier 1. He's going into my tier 1. Because with 30, you know that boy, 30 million sold, man. He doubled it. What other people have done on the top on our tier 1. He's doubled that. He's doubled what some of them have done on our tier 1.
What's up, Bunky? So Gabe spent using Google trying to figure out how to make this make sense. So Gabe, half of those sales come from one album. We see, bro.
12 million.
12
million.
Right. That's what I just basically have. My nigga, like, yeah, it's get rich or die trying, right?
Right.
40%.
Right. Talk about impact.
Cool. But like you not making this argument in a bubble. So basically what you're saying is that 50 Cent's career, right, has been better than Nas's career. I don't agree. Like that's the comparison you got to make here when we got the tiers. It's not. They're not even close. You just like 50 so much. You can't do that. Because if you're saying 50 is above Nas's career, I'm saying you cap.
Okay. So you're allowed to retort. So you retorted. So what tier do you place him in, sir?
Bro, 50 is like tier 4. He really is.
Okay.
Once again, you're talking
now
about
you're capping.
I'm not.
You gotta get out of character, please. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Up.
Like,
I'll make my point for me. We had this talk last week, and I'll do it again. Right? Curtis Jackson put out 5 albums. Like, that's it. 5, bro. 5. Right?
Mm-hmm.
He has a classic album, right? And he has a good album, and that's it. That's it. That's it, bro. He ain't been musically relevant since 2009.
That don't matter.
That do matter.
It does.
You don't think that matters? No. So you're telling me that the criteria that we use for everybody else doesn't matter for 50 Cent. So longevity doesn't matter. Amount of work doesn't matter. All that shit doesn't matter.
But
it's just one album. I'm saying you like him because G Unit was dope.
He's staying, but isn't he staying relevant though without putting out albums?
But the music got to come first. Like, isn't that the criteria? Like,
but isn't that why we know him? Isn't that why we know him though?
So Master P's on his list too then?
No.
We doing that?
No.
He put out music and he's a way better businessman.
he has not. I can't speak to that because I haven't seen all the books and stuff. But from my point of view, he hasn't done what 50 has been able to do with the expansion of his own personal brand. Like,
bro, you're killing me. Like
Master
P had chips and snacks before anybody else did. The nigga had his own. Hold up, no, he had his own cell phone company. Like you are forgetting this because you're using those glasses. We don't agree here because here's what I'm saying right here. Tell me if I'm wrong, bro. You're hung up on this TV show shit as if that's supposed to trump a music list, and it doesn't. Right? It's only a part of his career. So move that TV shit out of here and make your point without talking about fucking BMF. What did he do that makes him such a high person on this list? Because you don't drink Branson cognac, and neither do I. So take away the TV shit. What are you really hanging your head on? One classic album, one good G Unit album, and one mid-tier album? That's your whole body. That's your whole argument. And he's better than Nas.
But somehow, some way, with that being said, he's still here though. That I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
Still here with the big three. What are we talking about?
Yeah, but Ice Cube has quite the career too, though. But he has a longer career now in acting than he does music.
50 Cent is not an actor, bro. 50 Cent was on a season and a half of Power. That's not an actor.
I'm not saying he's an actor. I'm saying he's in production though. He's executive producing this stuff, isn't he?
So this is a music. Oh
boy,
list.
Here we go. All right, so if we take the medium, right? What's good, Jay? If we add these together, we get 5. If you split that, it's 2.5. That makes it 3. So can we put them in tier 3 for now?
In all fit, yeah. If we're gonna do the splitsies, then we can put them in tier 3.
Okay.
My gut, and this is not hating. Let's. I love Get Rich or Die Trying, and I like the movie. Right, love it. 50 has a lot of crossover appeal, like as a personality. I recognize all that,
right?
But his body of work musically don't do it. It's just that he has such a big 3-year span that we hype it up. You know what I'm saying? Like we hyped that era up when it wasn't that long, bro. It wasn't. It was like 3 years, and then he was trying. He was grasping at straws. 5 albums and 3 of them is irrelevant. That's crazy work, Gabe. We wouldn't let nobody else get off of that. 5 albums and 3 of them is irrelevant. Niggas can't even name his last 3 albums. They don't even know the names. When I say Animal Ambition, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's right. That's what it was called. Who the fuck remembered that?
You did.
Because I'm a student of the game, G. I'm gonna put him off. Look, he's tier 3 for me.
Okay.
I'm with you because we splitting the baby. But I think as this list progresses, I think you'll come around to seeing when we got to place some of these more deserving people on this list, that a nigga like him gets bumped because his body of work is severely lacking, bro. I'm telling you right now.
Okay. I'm okay with that because I don't know. You know, there's a chance that could happen elsewhere too. So let's see. All right.
He don't got a lot of music though. He don't got a lot of music, which is crazy, but he don't.
I was hoping last week we went with the suggestion of South, so that came from your side. So this week I like to propose that we go West.
Yeah, that was the tip. So Rocky said TIP at number 1. I missed a lot. You did, but we made the argument, bro. If you really think about body of work and all the other criteria that we're talking about, I think T.I. is firmly tier 1. I don't even think it's much debate. Until we get to other people and just comparing him to his contemporaries. But I think for where we are on the list, he's absolutely tier 1. Absolutely. I'm with you though, Gabe. Let's swing out to the West Coast. Now, I know we didn't talk about it beforehand. I'm sure you brought a list. So I had 4 names in mind. Can I tell you my 4 names? We found out where we overlap, and then you complete the list. Make sense?
Okay. I like it.
So I wanted to touch on Snoop. I wanted to touch on Cube. I wanted to touch on Kendrick.
Oh.
Exactly. I want to touch on Game.
Okay.
And I'm just picking 4. That was me picking 4, not leaning one era or the other one too much.
You want to hear some, and this is interesting. And Black and I didn't talk about this as you guys just witnessed. The only one that we have different is I have Dre, you have Kendrick.
Okay. I don't think Dre just. I get where you're coming from, though. Yeah, I get that. So what list did you have? Did you have 4? Or did you have
that was my 4? Legit, that was my 4. Cube, Snoop, Dre, Game.
Okay. I don't think we can leave Kendrick out of this conversation unless you put him in a different category to talk about. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And you know, maybe we'll get a little help from our co-host today. You know, our guest host. Who knows? All right. So what do you want to do? I don't mind talking about 5 if we got the time. Let's talk about it.
So let's start with the list. Let's start with Snoop, because I think Snoop is probably the easier conversation. Fair? I'll let you lead it though, because I think I pretty much led the South conversation. So you lead the West. Go for it.
All right. So a great point to point out is what Black was saying about me and 50 Cent. Right. So being all the way over here and seeing Snoop though from this side, I still recognize the gangster in my dude when it came to this music. Like, he was just different. You know what I mean? So for me, when you think about the West, I think a lot about NWA. I quite honestly, I think about Ice-T a lot when I think about West Coast. I know that I respect the West. I love what they brought to the table. I love the sound that they brought, you know what I'm saying, to hip hop. I think it was a good thing. So with that said, I want to line it up. So we talk about some of them, right? So when it comes to people that they inspired, you're going to think about Snoop pretty quick, and he gives it up to them pretty quick, right? For me, I think Snoop was probably being disrespected when we were having our initial talks about people that were like shoe-ins on the list. You know what I'm saying? So for me, he enters, he's bullying his way in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold up, y'all forgot about me. He's the most recognizable rapper on the planet, in my opinion.
Outside of Jay-Z, yeah.
Yeah, he's it's pretty remarkable. He's everywhere. I mean, come on, man. Corona now, like Martha Stewart. Like, you could just keep going, and you could say more gangster shit, and he's there too. Like, it's crazy with him. His appeal has been nationwide, and then it went worldwide. I think everybody loves Snoop. I think if you walk in a room and say, you got pictures of rappers, I think he gets named correctly, 9 out of 10 times in any room. So for me, he's a high entry on this list. I want to hear what you feel about my boy Calvin.
What's up, Kimmy? What's up?
What up, Kimmy?
I'm gonna say this. Snoop is probably the highest non-rapper on this list. What you think about what I'm saying? As far as somebody who just like, I'm a rapper, but I don't got bars. It's Snoop, and it don't even matter. Like, he's probably he's probably the worst rapper on this list, and it don't even matter.
Nah.
Agreed? He has a classic album, which is fucking nuts, Doggy Style, from a non-rapper, right? You agree that's a classic album?
And he's part of another classic album.
Yes, he is. Please, what classic album are you referring to, sir?
With Dr. Dre, bro. I mean,
what album is that?
The Chronic?
The Chronic.
Come on, man.
So you wanted to have the Dre conversation. So do you put that in Snoop's column, or you put that in Dre's column? Because like Khaled albums going Khaled columns.
I think in the same vein in which we would give credit to a Lauryn Hill for being part of the score, we would give Snoop credit for being part of the Chronic.
I mean, her group name though was on top of that album. Snoop name was not on top of the Chronic.
No,
I think that matters.
I know, but he was on that album.
It
wasn't like he popped up a couple times. He was on the album with Dre.
Okay, that's fair.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, he's got 2 in the bag.
Longevity. I mean, Snoop been around for fucking 30 years, bro. I mean, he got some of the biggest songs of all time. I think I saw another Mellow Yellow drop it like it's hot commercial the other day. Like you said, he sells mattresses, pillows, fucking beer, cooking shows. Axe. He was in a really bad vampire movie on Netflix with Jamie Foxx. Go watch that. Night Shift. It was terrible.
Car Wash.
Yeah, he's definitely in Car Wash. Soul Plane. Like, it's a lot of bad movies that Snoop was in. Yeah. One of my favorite movies of all time, though, Baby Boy. He did that. Listen, man, Snoop, I think I don't think I gotta say much about Snoop musically. Either you resonated with him as an artist one-on-one or you didn't. But all of the songs that crossed over, think about somebody who first started on some super, super, super gangster Crip Walk kind of shit. And then a decade later was making the most poppy crossover records of all time. Like, for Snoop to make Beautiful makes no sense. That record makes no sense considering where he started as a rapper. Correct?
He's undeniable, bro.
And to still be considered gangster while making fucking Beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I wouldn't say we were trying. She said we are hilarious. I wouldn't say we was trying to be disrespectful. I just think that when I think rappers, I think it's easy. Just write it right, bro. 50 and then cent. That's how he writes it. 50 and then cent. And then the word cent. What's it gonna say? I just think this is when you start talking about rappers, Snoop doesn't pop up in my head first because I'm from the era of rappers. Even though I recognize him for what he is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's no disrespect. It's just I think rappers first, and then I always think about Snoop second because he's more of an entertainer. Right?
Yeah.
Thinking about his career, his impact, his ability to be relevant across the wider spectrum of everything, pop culture. Where does he fall on this list for you?
He's in tier 1, bro, to me.
I don't think he is.
I don't see how he's not.
I hear you.
He has 8 joints, 12 joints altogether that he's featured on that made top 100 Billboard shit. Not just like hip hop top 1, like Billboard, period. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's not a lot.
But he's got the music. That's what I'm saying. He's doing everything you're talking about and we're talking about that he's done and he's doing, and him being so recognizable and all that. And he has 12 different times that he's on this top 100. You know, forget the rap charts. He's always on the rap charts.
But that's not a lot compared to the niggas on tier 1 lists. I mean, I think the lowest on that list is probably LL with probably like 20. Like, that's not a lot what you saying, bro. Like 12 sounds like a lot, but it's not.
Where you want to put Snoop Doggy Dogg?
I think my gut says tier 2, and I think that is a lot of that is attributed to his crossover appeal and the fact that he's been able to parlay his personality into such longevity. But I don't think it's the music. Like he has plenty of albums that don't matter to people. He got a lot of music, but he got plenty of albums that don't matter to people. Like, he kind of came and then he simmered and then he came back with this fucking sexual seduction kind of persona. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was doing those kind of records. Like, Pharrell rebooted that nigga career. Remember Snoop was popping and then he went away. Yeah. And then he came back making those kind of records. No, the Beautifuls and the sexual seductions, and that was completely
Drop
different.
It Like It's Hot. That's a number 1. That's solidified 3 weeks on the chart, number 1.
I think he's high, but I also recognize that a lot of it has to do with longevity as opposed to quality of work. That's like Too Short ain't on this list for me, bro. But he got 30 fucking albums. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, he does. I think I'm good at tier 2 right now.
Our tier 2 is like where all the craziness is. There's a really heavy hitters in tier 2. All right, so we've hit that time of the evening where we're gonna get joined by a co-host. Y'all might have seen him on In the Studio with the Rec Boys. Big Face Bennie is gonna be joining us right about now. Let me get him situated. Go talk to my boy a little bit.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yo,
what's going on, my guys?
Chilling. Yeah. What's going on, man? Big Face, man. Tell the people, man. My audience might not know exactly where you be at and all that. Tell them about you and where you from.
Yeah. It's Big Face Bennie. straight out of Brooklyn, New York, Brownsville, just to be exact. Currently in Kissimmee, Florida. You know what I'm saying? That's where the headquarters for Big Face Music World, my record label. I'm the owner and co-founder. And just vibing out. I'm also an artist on the label, so just trying to get it done. I also got 2 other artists under the label, Sila La Sicaria, and I also got Young Viral.
Young Viral. Okay, yeah. I've seen Young Viral on in the studio with the Rec Boys. I've seen him on there with you before.
Yeah. He's doing his thing, yeah.
Nice. So with the label, are you like the one-man show over there? Like, what are you doing over there? I feel like you wear a lot of hats over there. You're busy and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Talk about it.
That's really what it is. I mean, I do pretty much I do production. I'm an artist. I do the video editing. I do the photography, whatever we need to do, covers, whatever, event coordinator. I hired on a couple of people in different departments. Still working on the marketing, of course. That's always the biggest thing in the game, and the promotion. So, but I wear a lot of hats in here. I think a lot of people seem to forget that because they be like, yo, what's going on? I need a beat. I need this. I need that. Bro, you need to slow down, everything in moderation, because I got too much going on. It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, no, I know. And anything worth anything is going to take a lot of hard work, dedication. You already know what that is all about. You know what I mean? So, but I'm happy to kind of, meet you and expand the network and say what's up to all your people out there. You know what I'm saying? I know Blackout has seen you on the In the Studio with the Rec Boys show as well. But just to make that introduction, Blackout, Benny Blackout, what's going on?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's goody?
What's good? My guy, I like the way you talk, my guy. You be going in. You got a lot of passion on your topics, brother.
Is that what you call it? Is that what you call it?
Listen. I started watching it. Like, I want to say maybe I started watching, what we talk about for, I think, probably like the past month. And so far, I've been hearing a lot of valid points from. I mean, there's certain things that I would like for example, I don't want to bring. I know this is like a tick for you, Black. I know this is a tick for you, but I agree with everything you're saying about Tatum. But I want to add one thing. He don't have the burn. He don't have the heart. Like, he's never going to be able to do it again because he's not showing that. Yeah, you're right. He's young. He's like 25. You know what I'm saying? But he got time to figure it out. So I hope he figure it out because the talent is there. But I definitely, I don't know if I would put him in 25. Like
Tatum?
Top 25. I would probably put him.
He's been top 5 MVP voting the last 2 years.
But I would put him a little higher, is what I was getting to. 25, I don't know.
Tatum?
Yeah.
I put Tatum in my top 7. I put Jaylen Brown in my top 25.
Okay, no, I thought you said 25, Tatum 25 because he lacked, whatever.
Oh, no, he was saying Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, and you're right. Like, they do have similar game. Like, and you're right. They gotta separate them.
They gotta separate.
That's a must. But they do need another person there. Like Gabe brought up Ben. I love Ben.
I think everybody likes him.
He's an all-around player. Like, he's efficient. Like, you can't go wrong with that dude. You know what I'm saying?
There's somebody who's probably going to be available this summer who's actually a great fit. He's up in Toronto, Mr. Pascal Siakam.
Ooh.
Siakam, his game, the fact that he's a stretchy big, but he's actually a big. He can handle, he can shoot, he can drive, but you can put him on the elbow, you can put him on the wing, you know what I mean, and let him go to work because he's 6'8", 240. He can get busy in the paint. That's what they need.
They got to utilize him right too.
Correct. They don't do that. They only back down small dudes. They can't get busy in the paint. So a lot of times they both, if Jaylen has the ball, Tatum's on the opposite wing standing, and then vice versa, because their games don't complement. They don't work well off each other, and neither one of them is a natural facilitator. That's why it don't work. They're taking turns. The same problem with Kyrie and Luka. Right. 2 top 10 players together, and it seems horrible, and you don't know why, but it's because they're the same guy with different bodies.
And somebody got to give up. Somebody got to sacrifice something, and that's gonna take away talent. That's gonna take away, the coaching. For example, they say Kyrie's a good coach on the court. That's gonna take away that from him because you're not gonna be able to control that talent. That talent, you got to let him explode. You got to let him do what he do. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I think in Boston's case, I mean, Hayward what's his name? Hayward, right? Hayward, the big man, the only Dominican ever to touch the NBA hardwood. He's not a presence. Like, he's good. Like, he'll bring the defense out. He'll bring the big man out because he's shooting threes. But
don't forget Busy. Don't sleep on. Like, listen, Al Horford is 36. First of all, this is not a young nigga no more, right?
That's a fact.
It's a seasoned vet now. But did you see him get up for that block?
Oh yeah, he does it. He's just not consistent. Like, you 36. Can't say exactly. But they're gonna need that help. You know what I'm saying? But now
Siakam, bro. Siakam 9 years younger. Like that. To me, that's a great fit, bro.
I mean, I don't want to get too in depth because we could get into the draft, like where they at on the draft, if they could get him, like things
you
like
guys
that.
are out of your mind.
But listen, let's get to the Heat. The Heat is not going to beat Denver, bro.
Nah, they definitely get trashed.
They don't have the presence in the front court. They don't have it for them.
Nah, they really don't. But all I'm saying is that if you just sit back and just look at it for what it is, saying that you think the Heat are going to win in 6 games is not crazy. All you got to do is just look at it. No, just look at it. What's been happening. They were not supposed to be here at all.
Bro. That's not like there was first of all, this 8 seed shit got to stop. Bet like the niggas was a 6 seed. You know what I mean? They lost 1 game and dropped to a 7th, and then the fake ass play-in made them an 8th. Like, cut it out. These niggas ain't trash. You feel me?
They were not supposed to be here, bro. Black. They're not supposed to be here. Come on.
Right.
I give you that. They're not supposed to be here.
And the 2 best teams played each other in the second round in the East.
Right.
That's what happened. Philly and Boston.
They did.
It was a situation, yeah.
It was a situation.
That helped. That helped big time.
Yo, I'm telling you, when you put your mind to something, you can do incredible things, man. You know what I mean?
Fact.
So, well, the kid is that kid is amazing though. But speaking of amazing and doing things and putting your mind to it, man. So having a label, getting back to that, Benny, so when did you start the label anyway?
Man, I want to say we might be 4 years old. About 4 years old. And to be honest, the way it all started, I bought this house about 4 years ago. No, about 5 years. I bought the house about 5 years ago. And I had the equipment. I had everything prior to it. I've been doing music for about, I don't even want to say how long because then I'll tell my age. But we'll get to that part later because that goes into the single that I got coming out. But Young Viral, I used to live in a community with Young Viral. His pops is an electrician, but he also does carpentry work. So he came into my house and he saw my studio here. He's like, man, why don't you just build a studio? I'm like, nah, I'm not. I don't feel like doing that. Like, he goes, I'll tell you what, I'll build you a studio if you let my son record. And I'm like, what? Can we curse on the show?
Do what you got to do.
What son do you have? Because I've known him since he was a baby. Like,
right.
I didn't know he did music. So I'm like, to me, that's easy money. You want to build me a studio just for one song? Okay, go ahead. So he built me this beautiful studio. Me and him, we did it, by hand in 3 weekends. And then I let his son record. Bro, I kid you not. This is the booth right here. I'm looking at him like, are you fucking kidding me?
You liked it.
This kid he's 15 years old. And he's amazing. Like, he's a freaking genius. And he do songs like what I was talking about with Snoop, with So Seductive, but he started off in hip hop. But now he's doing pop funk. So the transition, like, this kid is a genius. Like, he did things where rappers from my era or artists from my era, especially from Brooklyn and New York, ain't nobody was thinking about transitioning like that and things like that. So, that became a big catalyst in me saying, you know what? Let me figure out how to do an LLC. Let me figure out how to create a label, get this publishing going. So pretty much, the label, we own all the mastering and publishing. We're not branching off to anybody, doing no crazy deals or things like that. I mean, things come up.
Just straight independent work, right?
We have to, bro. We have to because the way these labels are moving is crazy right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty much doing everything from admin all the way, all the way up, financials, CEO aspect of it. It's real tough, man.
Yeah, that's why I was alluding to just wearing many hats. So 4 years ago, cool. Because I just want the people to get to, when we sit here having a discussion, I want them to know that, you're coming from a place of understanding that the game, you know what I mean? So that's why I wanted you to tell that real quick. But Black and I were in the middle of talking about the top 50. Are you familiar with the top 50 we've been doing?
I am, but I do have a question for y'all.
Okay,
what are your prerequisites, your requirements, your categories for them? Because I've seen some interesting things on this list.
Yeah.
And please don't mind. I got the laptop right here so I can look at your list.
So
good. If I look away, that's what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
So think of this like a career as far as being a hip hop artist. So we're measuring your career. So as an example, if you was around for 3 years and that was it and you disappeared, that counts against you, right? Mm-hmm. So longevity matters, body of work matters, cultural impact matters, sales, they matter, like influence, that matters. Okay. Like how did you influence your peers or the generations behind you, things of that nature. So it's like looking at your career up until this point and trying to put it in a box to make it make sense. And we have one thing called a no-brainer. So a no-brainer defies logic. A no-brainer is when somebody says something in a room of 10 people, everybody in that room agrees with that statement. So as an example, Lauryn Hill is on this list because she don't meet the criteria in almost any other category, except that she's been a part of 2 albums, and both of them are absolutely classic and impactful and still go today. And if I say Lauryn Hill in the top 50 without asking you about criteria, you just say, yep. For hip hop, yes. Miseducation is that impactful. It's probably the greatest album from an artist in that genre ever. That's enough. So like we have that those no-brainer things that just defy logic. Not a lot, but there are some things that just don't need to be explained. So that's our criteria.
And
it has very little to do with technical skills. Just make that very clear. It's not about how nice your pen is.
No. So second. Oh, so it's not about how nice your pen is.
It's not about your pen at all. No, because
this list be different.
For the record, it don't matter. Right. And the second thing is that we're not doing groups. So you could come from a group, but your group don't get in. So like you can give me Method Man, but you can't give me the entire Wu-Tang Clan. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's the criteria.
Okay. So with that being said, because I knew Gabe was going to throw it on, but it's all right. It's all right. Before we get to that, because I saw the conversation about Snoop. You guys put Snoop in the tier 3 based on a lot of the things that you said. Or was it 2? You put him on 2? Yeah. Based on everything that you just told me with the categories and things. Yep. But yet you excluded 50 Cent from that. And you excluded him for the same reasons you put Snoop in tier 3.
Snoop got 20 albums. Like to me. Nah, because I'll explain it very simple. Snoop got 20 albums. 50 Cent got 5.
But that's Snoop got 20, but what are the classics?
Doggy Style? Doggy Style is that joint, right? Mm-hmm. The Chronic is a certified classic. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's no debate. 50 got 1 and only 1, and there's no argument there, right?
Okay.
Get Rich or Die Trying is it. Correct?
Okay. But so now, longevity, now you're talking about body of work, but what about everything else that you talked about, the impact and all that other stuff? Correct. 50 is there with that.
Not in what way? Impact of what?
Currently, you guys spoke about that.
About the TV show stuff?
Yeah, currently, but you said exclude that.
Yes. Well, I said exclude that because Gabe was giving so much weight to that. So as an example, we got Will Smith on this list. Will Smith's acting career absolutely helps push him up a tier or 2 because of what he's done. Yes. But without having Get Jiggy With It, Men in Black, Just the Two of Us, Sunshine, Summertime, shit like that, it don't matter. It's not enough. So that's why like a Jermaine Dupri on this list, right? Your individual artistry is not enough to get you on this list or in the conversation so that your extra shit can push you over. So
but wasn't he also the bridge for artists to go into movies and shows and things like that too?
Who, Will Smith?
Yeah. Who was before him that did that? Right. So that's one of the most impactful things you can have there.
He's in tier 3 because musically, Rick Ross got a better output than Will Smith. But when you take into factor all the things that Will's done outside of music, it's not a comparison. So and like we do take it into account. Yeah.
And Will Smith has a song that he's still getting paid for today. Still.
Yeah, but that's pretty much every artist though.
I mean, he's still like he made that shit when he was a kid.
He did.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Ain't too many of those.
You know, he has Will Smith.
Can't put Bout Wow on the list.
Whether you agree with it or not,
by the way,
if you agree with it or not, Will Smith, one of the most charismatic rappers to ever come out. Absolutely. He was the inspiration for Ludacris.
This is what I'm trying to say. He had a very impactful.
Yeah, no, that's why he's on the list for me.
Facts.
You know, he's got number one hits out there, but it's more poppy hip hop, but it's still hip hop. It's still Will Smith. He's still rapping on it. You know.
Okay, so let me ask y'all this, not to cut you off, Gabe.
No,
because I also saw on your list. I don't know if you want to bring it up now.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
You you have Nas.
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj.
Yep.
And Biggie in tier 2.
Mm-hmm. So there's only 10 slots per tier. Just to make that clear right away. There's only 10 slots per tier.
I didn't know that. All right.
Yep.
Why in tier 2?
Because
if you're talking about body of work and impact.
Yeah. So Nas, so we did the math and we had this conversation from different perspectives, right? So let's take Nas for example, because I think that's the easy name to be like, I don't get it. So Nas got how many albums we say, Gabe? 19? Was it 19 albums?
Yeah, like 17 or something.
17 albums, something like that. Mm-hmm. Nas got 3 relevant albums. 3 out of 17. Nas got 12 years of duds. Name the albums that came out between 2003 and 2017. You can't even name them except Life is Good. But that matters.
Where's the other impactful stuff for Nas to be in tier 2?
You put him explaining it. Yeah, because we talk about cultural impact, longevity. So like Too Short has a long career, right? Whether you think any of his albums worth a fuck, he got 30 albums. He's been around forever. He's influenced a generation. He's a legend in what he does. So this is not that Nas's pen don't matter because it's not about writing skills, but it does matter. That storytelling part does matter. The influence he had in his generation absolutely matters. The fact that J. Cole made a song called Let Nas Down fucking matters. His battle with Jay-Z in the early 2000s matters. He's got.
Well, we can't say the pen for Nas work and it don't work for everybody else on this list.
It's a small part. What I'm saying is that his pen matters, but it's only a small part. Like,
but his pen was the impactful part to me anyway.
It was, but it was written as a classic. Is it not? Illmatic is a classic, and if you ask me, I Am is a borderline classic. Stillmatic is looked at as a great album. Like that's 3 for show, 4 maybe, right? That alone puts him way above a 50 Cent. Like, it's not even a conversation. So to put 50 in the tier next to somebody like Nas, as an example, don't work for me because you got to compare him to the people in his tier.
But you see, everything you just said, right? How the fuck does Nicki belong in that same category?
Because Nicki's not belong there. Hip hop female artist of all time. That's how. That holds all the weight it needs to hold. That statement, bro. That's not an opinion. It's a fact.
She took what
her pen game is top tier. I'm not gonna lie, her pen game is top tier. But she doesn't have the longevity. She's not. She's only impactful. She's on. How long she's been in the game?
Like
13 years.
I'm gonna say
13 years.
No,
how many albums she got out?
2009.
3.
She's got 5.
5.
Yeah,
I can't even remember all 5 because I think when I hear Nicki, I think about 3 albums. And out of those 3 albums, I get what you're saying, but with Nicki, it doesn't sound. Compare what you're saying about Nicki to what you said about Nas, and they in the same tier. Like that's weird to me.
Also, I think
we being favorable to Nas though. Like, I don't look at it the way you do. Like Nicki, I bet you this. I think the Barbs would feel different than what you're saying about this conversation.
Okay, but you're right.
The generation of girls that are coming up under Nicki that we see right now, they're all Nicki clones. Like, that is a level of impact that Nas didn't have.
Yeah, that's the level of impact Lil Wayne had. Like, I get
correct, and that's why Wayne is in tier 1.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that. But then, how about Biggie? Biggie only had what? How many classic albums?
Let me take that one. Let me take that.
Talk about it.
Because Biggie, first I wanted to say, Nas also was firmly planted in this tier. You know, at the end of the day, for me, the last anchoring one was his skill level. He's, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's one of the all-time greats when it comes to the pen. You know what I mean? So, like, so on top of all that, it's that too. So there's that. Nikki, you also can't discount her, and you have to include all her features and all the songs that she's been a part of too.
Okay, I thought we were just talking about albums.
No, that's what I'm saying, because we kept saying albums when we're talking about body of work, but it encompasses not only their features but their mixtape work too. And that's what keeps 50 definitely no less than top, tier 3, which I think should be higher.
Now we getting it. Okay,
you know what I'm saying? So let me just say that.
I don't know. I like the tier 3 position for him, but I see why you.
No,
feel
I know.
Like he needs to be a little higher though. I see
and I think when we adjust this, like when we actually rank these in the tiers, then we're really talking about something, But anyway, Biggie, I think Biggie for me, he's firmly planted here when it came down to his impact. Like his impact was so great on the whole culture. Like it shifted things. Like the way he brought Brooklyn, to the world was different than any other Brooklynite had ever done before. You know what I mean? And if it was because of Puffy, if it was because of circumstance, if it was because he was cool with Jay-Z, whatever you want to say, nobody touched it like the way he touched it. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
And he still to this day, he gets credit from the people that I think are the dopest rappers. These are the people still talking about him. It's not everybody else, like just the fans talking about him. His peers are still giving him credit to this day for the thought process, the inspiration. Like talk to Jada. These people
now, Fabulous ain't on this list. I'm
you know what I'm saying?
We haven't gotten to a lot of people yet.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we're trying to, systematically attack this. But for Biggie, on top of that impact, the songs and the stuff that he was able to do while he was here in that little 3.5 years is remarkable. I mean, you have to start talking about like the Drakes and the Lil Waynes and the things that Jay-Z was able to do to start matching some of the popularity and the sales that this dude was getting in that short amount of time. So,
and not to mention for decades, everybody, when you hear it in songs, which is why I really question Nas and Biggie on the tier 2, is because when people talk top 5, it's like automatic. You can't even talk top
Jay-Z,
5. You
Biggie,
gotta go
Nas,
right, because the 3 slots are already taken.
Which makes no sense though. I've always been against that argument for this reason. Like you can't include somebody who was in the game for 3 years. Like no matter how much you love him, how beloved he is, he don't got like it's if you're gonna do the top 3 now, it's like Jay-Z, Drake, and Eminem. If you want to keep it a bean, or Jay-Z, Drake, and Kanye, or Jay-Z, Drake, and Wayne. That's the real top 3 at this point. It ain't Biggie and Pac. They run.
That's where I was going. That's where I was going. You're right. That's where I was going. 100%. Because there's a lot of categories. It's like people going on interviews and go on shows and they ask them, "What's your top 5?" Nah, bro, you got to break it down for me because there's different categories for this. Because for me, I keep it a buck with you. There's never going to be a top 5. It has to. It's too many. It's like me saying, let me give you the 2 best players in the NBA ever. You can't do that.
I mean, you can. That list is kind of,
but that's biased. That's based on you. How impactful that player was.
It's Jordan and Wilt. How was it not?
I mean, some might argue that. I mean, they are the top highest scorers, but some might argue that because you're talking about different categories. Let's talk about, if you're talking about players. Now let's go back to that. How impactful was Wilt to the newer generation?
How impactful was Wilt to the 30 years after him? Very. Everybody wanted the big man. That's where you got all the great.
But how many people in this generation watched the Wilt game?
Right.
That's not fair to say this generation though. His followers generation.
But my point is, it depends on the person.
What I'm saying is, I don't judge 2020 hip hop based off of Big Daddy Kane by saying that Big Daddy Kane don't influence them, so he's not relevant. That's not a fair comparison. You take Big Daddy Kane's era, and then you say how many rappers in the 80s and 90s wanted to be Kane. That's his sphere of influence. So you look at Wilt, the 70s and 80s, who wanted to be Wilt? Every big man. That's a fair comparison.
That's a fact.
All right. So to keep this moving, because y'all just want to keep, I'm gonna start our own podcast called Black and Benny Talk Ball. It's gonna be the BBB, and y'all could do that. So listen. Shout out to the sponsors, man. I haven't shout out the sponsors, and the sponsors are what's making this thing go, man. We got
talk about it.
These guys out here House of Barbers. Shout out to Sal and everybody. His shop's gonna be super dope. It's coming out actually next week. He's up there by Maris, so hit up House of Barbers. Then you got All Creep. Shout out Ernie, Julia Carrillo holding it down over there. Anything needed with concrete placement, I mean, they're your people. You're talking sidewalks, you're talking decorative stuff, you're talking, patios, you're talking about parking decks, all that stuff from small to commercial. He can handle it all. All creature people. House of Barbers will get you looking right. So with the bills out the way,
shout out to my sponsor, Aki the jeweler, who keeps me looking right. You feel me?
Shout out Aki.
I love you, Papa. Let me get that 40% next time. You heard?
Yo, man. If you let me wear some, I'll just wear it on air. You know what I'm saying?
Hook us up.
No money. You know what I'm saying? Not I'm gonna give you no money though. Listen. So Benny, man, see, you can get a little taste of what this conversation is like from the jump. Yeah. So the next person on the list to talk about is Ice Cube.
Mm.
If
we're doing West Coast today, just so you know.
Yeah, I caught the earlier portion of it. Yeah, definitely. Copy. I like the four that y'all named on it for sure. But I kind of agree with the Kendrick thing. It's like, but he's definitely in there somewhere. You know what I mean? You can't exclude him.
So let's talk about Cube then. Where do you make an argument to have him on the list or off the list?
Cube is automatically on the list. He's very impactful, longevity. He's still, man. Cube is to me number one. If you ask me,
do Cube got a classic album?
Mm-hmm. He does. Death
Which
Certificate.
one?
Death Certificate.
Says 100%. Who? Is that Universal?
That's
oh yeah, we're not talking about groups. That's why.
Yeah, because I've never heard that. I've never heard it. In a room of 10 people, everybody says Cube Death Certificate. I think 8 niggas don't even know that's the name of an album. You think I'm wrong?
I hope they know what.
I don't think I'm wrong, bro.
I'm not a hip hop historian, but I know that.
I don't think that's a classic, but make the case for me, bro. How would you rate it as a classic? Because I don't hear that talk. Now I understand that we New Yorkers, right? Mm-hmm. So like we may be shielded from some of that, but make the case that it's a classic because I don't get that off the rip.
I mean, that's
What's the joint song from it.
That's the joint that had no Vaseline on it.
Right, that's one song that everybody fuck with.
So that everybody f with, but that album to me, I mean, that besides NWA and Easy Does It, you was rocking Ice Cube's albums like all day. I mean, there was a point in time in the summertime, that's all I was listening to was NWA and Ice Cube. Yo, it was crazy. I'm sitting out here in upstate New York rocking Ice Cube, and then I'm seeing him in movies like. Ice Cube ended up, I felt like he took over like the whole like entertainment industry. Everything was freaking Ice Cube. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't for somebody to say they're not going to recognize what he was able to bring to the table. I think you've just been blind for the last 20 years or so, because talk about longevity, being here since NWA. So that's like 1987, 1988. Sure.
Having 2008, 2009, that's when that pretty much stops.
Yeah, pretty much I'd say. And then he came back with the the Gorillas and all that. He was doing his thing with them.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, he came up, but like you have to remember too, Black, like, and I know we do this with a New York bias. But if we're on the other coast, bro, it's like we're not even allowed to really talk about it like this to like this extent. Like this is like
we absolutely are.
We used to not be able to talk about it to this extent. Now we all right. Now it's love.
All I said was give me the music that makes it relevant in this conversation. I understand that Cube been around, but I need you to name me the albums that's impactful.
It can't be music. You said impactful and everything. Like
yes,
it's impactful and everything.
Nah, music stuff.
I mean, we all know Today Was a Good Day.
Yes.
We know the work that he did with NWA. I mean, all those songs. I mean, 100 Miles.
Every single song makes him a classic because he was in NWA?
No, I'm saying
he wrote most of the shit.
He did write most of the shit.
That don't count either. Like we got criteria, Gabe. That don't count that he wrote it. Like Puff Daddy's on his list. He didn't write shit. He gets credit for the creativity there. Why wouldn't he get credit for that? That doesn't make sense. All I asked you to tell me was what music was impactful. I'm not saying it's not. I'm asking you to name it. If you can't name it, if you're struggling, this is part of the conversation then, bro. Because every time we have these conversations about these artists, we're not struggling to name shit. So I'm asking you a clear question. Like, what's the impact for music here? Not that we know Ice Cube. What is it? Is it We Be Clubbing? What's impactful?
I mean, hey, if you want to start reminding me of
what's that other joint of the one the one that he did with the chick on the hook. I can't even fucking remember the name.
Making My Point.
If Black is gonna say Making My Point.
Yes, we can't name 5 Cube songs. But this nigga top 50 dead or alive, like for real? We can't name 5 songs.
I don't know who you would put in from the West Coast if you weren't gonna put.
That's not the argument. Gabe. Cube got to stand on his merits. Name 5 Cube. Name 3 Cube songs, not mixed with NWA. Name his biggest 3 songs.
Well, Today Was a Good Day. Definitely one.
Right, that's the one everybody knows.
Was it Break It Back to This? What the hell?
Nope, that's not even a song.
I know what you're talking about.
That was that shit brought him back.
It did.
That was like one of his last ones.
It did too.
You Googling
I don't remember the name of the joint. I don't remember the name of the joint. I don't.
It's crazy. This nigga top 50.
The dagger. Yeah, I swear to God, he got the dagger every time.
That.
Like, I catch you in the chat line like, the fuck you Timothy Majors can't name 3 songs.
But he's been impactful in the community.
Sure. Then got a basketball league. He was in Ride Along, Funny Ha Ha. He did Friday. That'll get you tier 5. But what is his music doing? Tell me musically what resonates. I said name 3 songs. You was like that one with that chick. Like seriously? That's the best we can do.
I can't argue that, but
that's
I know
fair. That's a fair criticism for me.
Listen, I've been through a lot of explosions, grenades, IDs. I'm a veteran. I can't remember none of this shit. Nothing. I don't even remember what happened before 2004.
I mean, if I must, I have my
details.
I have my device. You know,
there you go. Like, Go ahead, Google. Get you some help.
Just to remember.
Some help.
Did you know he was?
Death Certificate ain't go double platinum like every good album in the 90s did. I bet you it didn't go double platinum. Tell me I'm wrong. I bet you it didn't. Like every good album in the 90s went.
I don't think it did. It didn't.
I bet you it didn't.
I think it went platinum, but it didn't go double.
Y'all sleeping on Ice Cube's double platinum status?
I bet you that first album did not go double platinum. I don't mean now.
I think he belongs on the list, but I don't think his album went double platinum. Like I don't think.
All right, so
I mean, if that's the case, why is Dr. Dre not on there?
America's Most Wanted.
It's not about producing, bro. You don't rap.
He got writers, huh?
Yeah.
Well, Drake got writers, and he's in number 1.
Drake
he's got 10 studio albums, 12 soundtrack albums.
He got 10 studio albums. 27. You really got to count 5 of them because like half of them was written for him.
For who? Ice Cube?
So Gabe,
I thought you were talking about Drake.
No, I'm talking about Ice Cube.
What's the big Cube joints, bro? I just need answers, bro.
Who's the Mac? America's Most Wanted. Dead Home. Oh, that's the one that Jacking for Beats. That's the one I was trying to think of when he's going through all the different beats. Steady Mobbing was the other one that I was thinking of. It Was a Good Day. Check Yourself Before You Wreck Yourself with Das Effects was really big. Natural Born Killers with Dr. Dre.
Yep.
He gonna have me looking.
We Be Clubbing.
Here we go. We Be Clubbing. See what I mean?
We Be Clubbing.
There's a lot in here. There's 27 singles in here that charted.
But that's low. Which ones was the hits? He got like 3?
Like 3 or 4. Yeah.
That's not a lot, bro.
So let me ask you, Black. You're going last here. So what do you say about Cube, and where would you put him on the list then?
Yo, Cube is tier 5, and the crazy part is, NWA was so impactful as a group. That's how he gets in for me. It ain't even that. I don't like Cube rapping and all that kind of shit because he had a few songs I could rock with. But Ice Cube as a rapper, as legendary as he is on the left coast, ain't it? Like he didn't cross over worldwide. Because of Ice Cube's records. It was the NWA shit and the boiling point in America that music was super impactful. And then from there, he had a mediocre solo career and a really big personality career as an actor. So that's what happened. NWA is an iconic group. Then he had a regular ass solo career, mid as fuck. But then he went into television and movies, and that put him on the fucking map. He's huge in that. And that's why he's tier 5. Go ahead, bro.
1991, Death Certificate, 2 million. The Predator in 1992, 2.2.
No, not lifetime. We don't do lifetime numbers, bro, because all those numbers are skewed now because of streaming. We talking about numbers up to 10 years after he did that. You can look at the sound scans and see.
That's what it is. That's the sales. That's what he got.
Right, that's lifetime sales.
Oh, you talking about okay, I see.
Yeah, the decade that music got released, did he go double platinum? Probably not. With streaming, everybody's platinum.
No, he didn't. Right. He didn't. It shows that he didn't. And like to your point, it wasn't worldwide. That's all US numbers.
That's all US numbers. He did not cross over, bro, until he did TV and shit. And that's why he's even on the tier list. NWA, his solo career was whack. I'm sorry, it was. It was weak.
Black on point. Black on point.
Movies, TV shit made him pop. Business made him pop for real. He's tier 5. And he might not even last because I think there's a lot of mid niggas who had better musical careers than Cube did. Mm-hmm. If you don't look at NWA shit. So once we get there, we got to talk about it. But I think that's what saved him is that NWA was so impactful as a group, that he's undeniable. But his solo career, mid as fuck. Mid.
I wouldn't call it mid. I think you would love to have Ice Cube's career.
Sure, but he don't got 5 singles. He don't got a classic album.
He almost has 2, to be honest with you. America's Most Wanted and Death Certificate.
You keep saying America's Most Wanted, but you named one song, my G.
But you're sleeping on the impact that it had because you was in the womb at that point. You wasn't listening to fucking music at that time.
Black, let me ask you this question, Black. Let me ask you this question.
You know better, Gabe. Go ahead, bro.
You knowing where my label is at this point, if Ice Cube was to call me and say, yo, let's get this work done. Whatever type of work he want to do. Do you think I should do it? And why?
Because it's fucking Ice Cube.
It's very simple.
No, not you, Gabe. I want Black to answer it because Black has a very strong point on Cube thing. Because my thing is this: if you feel like he's not that impactful,
he's not. He's not top 50 all time impactful.
Then if I get that call, what should I do?
Because you're talking about two different things. One is influence, and one is One is influence, and one is musical ability. They're separate, right? So, like, the biggest influence on the planet are the Kardashians, who don't make a fucking lick of music, correct? But they'll sell you fucking tacos, my nigga. But they can't rap or nothing. But if you put one of them on a record, it's gonna get 50 million views because it's them. So we're not having the same conversation. If Ice Cube want to put you in position to win, he can absolutely help you win. But if you just gonna be a feature on Ice Cube record, that record ain't going nowhere. Tell me I'm wrong.
I can't.
Ice Cube put how many niggas in his record? He couldn't break his own clique. He couldn't break Dub C and them niggas. He tried. He couldn't make Mac 10 a star. And Mac had swag, the gangster persona. He was him. He couldn't make that nigga stick. Stop it, bro.
He going in. Black going in.
because when Gabe does that age shit, he know better. Because I only talk about things that I'm versed in. If I don't know, I say, I don't know, bro. Ice Cube has influence as Ice Cube the person. Ice Cube the rapper can't break Ice Cube's son. Tell me I'm wrong. As a rapper, no one cares.
He broke him into acting.
You're not Himothy.
He got Shay into acting.
He likes 60, but I'm gonna give him I'm gonna give him tier 5 because we care about influence. So that Big 3 shit was dope. That business acumen was dope. Those black movies and films was fucking dope, right? His philanthropy,
a lot of jobs for the community.
What he does in his community, it's fucking dope. What he does in those spaces is dope. That puts him on this list. But if you took away NWA, and I'm not saying that to be funny, his solo career, irrelevant. It is. He got 2 songs. Irrelevant. It's NWA, a decade of mid shit, and then I'm a superstar on the big screen. Keep it abundant.
Good thing you can't take away the past.
You can't.
Black will be out here discrediting the whole world. He's like, President George Washington, what you did, boy?
I'm comparing him to niggas on this list.
Listen.
Who had a better career, Cube or 50?
Who what?
Who had a better career, Cube or 50? Rap career, music career.
50.
Cube, would you take Cube's solo career as opposed to 2 Chainz? Because I'm taking 2 Chainz, and he not on this list.
I would take Cube's.
You're wilding. His solo career, you're wilding. He got 10 top 10s.
He
traveled my nigga. Made more money off music.
I don't know if he traveled the world, but he traveled a lot for that solo career. Anyway,
he did that.
So you brought someone to the game. And I say game because it's game. Happy birthday time, Angie. What you think about the game, man? Where he belong on this? He belong on this list. He's the top 50 all time. Talk about it.
What I guess. Yo, Benny is Game on this list, bro. Remember, he also has a classic album, unequivocally, Every Room.
I'm gonna tell you something. For me,
fanboy,
because coming up, remember, I'm a '90s baby, so and then in the 2000s, I listened to Game's album almost every fucking day. Like, he was impactful to me. So to me, he might I think he belongs on the list, but I already know when you put something on the shelf, Black got the ammo to shoot this shit down. So I'm gonna let Black go ahead and do what you do, like you're doing it for TV. Finally, TV at that.
Let's go,
bruh. I second that. Game belongs on this list. That's not a question. Documentary, top 25 album all time.
So one classic album gets you on the list.
I mean, most niggas don't got one. So yeah, when you have one, it's something.
Because let's be clear though, the Game is only impactful musically. He's not impactful in any other.
He's an asshole in actual life.
I can't second that.
I've watched interviews. He's a dick.
I can't second that.
Come on.
I can't second that.
Hold up. You make a good point though. So like, if we're talking about music only and you don't really have the other shit around you, then your music got to really stand tall. That's how we feel, right? If you ain't branched out. But for instance, we don't kill Missy for that. She ain't doing no movies. Like, we don't kill Missy. Missy just kill you in music, right?
Missy did way bigger in music. That's a bad example.
Lauren got two albums. She on this list. She ain't did nothing the fuck else. She was in Sister Act 2, nigga. That's it.
But let me ask y'all a question. So the failures, we're not notching points off for failures, because I feel like there's a failure in Lauren Hill shit.
That's why Nas
got
is
a
in
lot of
tier 2.
failures. Yes, like if you Nas and you got 12 dud albums, because that's bad when you talk about a GOAT.
I love Lauren Hill for being the one of the first females. I mean, of course, we got MC Light and Queen everybody Latifah. Else, but her failure for that album with no music,
Shantae.
Now we don't count. That's not a real album, bro. Chris said no Vaseline. We be clubbing. It was a good day. Yo, Chris, those are the 3 songs, by the way. That's it. That's all he got.
That's it. Yeah.
That's all he got, bro.
I don't know, but yeah, go ahead, Gabe.
Check Yourself is the 4th one.
Check Yourself. Wow,
you right. Check Yourself. You right. Gabe. So he says Game is on the list. I say Game is on the list. Well, Gabe, how you feel? Is Game on this list, knowing that he don't got too much extracurriculars? It's almost all music with him.
If he is, definitely tier 5.
What else did Game do besides the documentary? And
that's why he's tier 5.
And flirt with being in G Unit for 5 minutes and dropping one dope song and then bouncing and getting booted from the Killing. What has he done?
That shit in the first place. That's already
is known. That one album so dope that he just trumps anybody else who had a dope album and bounced afterwards?
And his Calvin Klein picture.
All right. When you hold up, Gabe, that's fair. When you say it that way, I don't think it is. I think it's criminal to not have the documentary on this list. But if you want to ask it to me that way, like, what else did he do? Not much.
Didn't he write songs for?
Did he change the way you rap?
Nah,
never.
Does he have like an anthem? What's his anthem?
One Blood.
That's
definitely his anthem. That's hard.
Yeah,
One Blood. Yeah.
One Blood.
It still can
ring
out.
Anthem.
Yeah,
it does. That's the classic.
He did have a couple of. No, he didn't. I was just fucking with y'all. I don't know about this.
I love the joint that he did when 50 was the hook.
Oh, which one?
Yeah,
Hated or Love It.
That is,
but that's not. And that's the one I was talking about. He said he wrote it for 50.
But 50 didn't rap it. He did the hook. So what?
He don't 50 got verses too.
Yeah, but he got verses for 50.
He got 2 verses on that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he does rap on that for real. He doesn't just do the hook. Yeah.
From the beginning to the end. Lose when it's win. This is real. We ain't got to pretend the cold world that we in. It's full of pressure and pain. Enough of me, nigga. Now listen to Game. Like, yeah, he's all in that shit.
Does Game come up when you talk about pens or flow or
nope?
What? You don't think so?
Now we talk about best pens ever. Like, I think his. I don't want to speak for Game. The question is, when you talk about the bar, right? Like, anybody call him a wordsmith? No. Anybody call him like one of the most lyrical niggas ever? No. Mightiest pens ever? No. Number of top 10s? No. Sales? No. You're right. He don't meet the criteria. You're right. It's me. My bias. The documentary is so fucking
dope.
Hard.
Dope. It's a dope album.
it's hard to not include that. But you're right. As an artist, I don't see it. You're right. I'm gonna shut up. You tell me if you don't make the list, because you're right. You're right.
I think you did that one time. I think he just misses the list. I think he's a dope artist. That's like he belongs in the like the bullpen or something for the top 50. But I just don't see. He don't even have the longevity. I mean, did he like the work that he put out after? He was just being weird going after Eminem. Like that was weird. That wasn't like nobody even appreciated that. You know what I mean?
Game was relevant like musically for like a decade. That's a fact. He was, whether you was checking from or not, he was impactful.
No, that's what I'm asking.
Music that was relevant for a good 10 strong, yeah.
But I don't know if that's enough to make the.
It's not
even tier 5.
It's not.
You know,
because the documentary is so good though, bro.
It is good, and I'm saying that, and I don't have like a hard copy of it. I think I have it like downloaded somewhere, like in a file folder somewhere. You know what I mean? But
I'm good with leaving them off. I don't think you're wrong. You made your point. I don't think you're wrong.
It was good enough to make the conversation.
Yeah.
Good enough to make the conversation. Fair enough. The other one was Kendrick. It's actually Kendrick and Dre, but we can leave Dre for another day.
I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. I don't care how you try to make this make sense. If a producer / I rap sometimes don't make this list, Dre don't make this list, because Dre as an artist is supposed to be first, and then his other shit is what makes his resume fill out, right?
I mean, he has like 2 classic albums.
I got it, but like Dre did what Jermaine Dupri did, and Jermaine Dupri as a rapper, believe it or not, got more singles on the charts than Dre ever did. Like his records, Jermaine Dupri featuring whoever, he's got more of those than Dre did. You can't even have this conversation.
Yeah, that would be a fun. I think that would be a great conversation to have, because you might be right. So let's talk about Kendrick though. We got about 13 minutes to pay tribute to this. Kendrick Lamar for me. I personally
hold up before you start doing let me give you some accolades, because I think some look, Gabe don't come with the numbers. Gabe goes off of his gut, which is fun. But I want if
that's
you don't
me too. I think give me the accolade. That's
take
good.
The jewels before you say something that's gonna sound weird. You ready? Kendrick Lamar got 2 unquantifiable classics. He's got a fucking Pulitzer, right? He's got a Pulitzer, my G. A Pulitzer Prize.
Okay.
I'm just telling you what it is.
Okay.
Every album has sold 3 million plus copies in like 6 months. Absurd.
Which is unheard in this era. But go ahead.
He is one of them in his era. When people talk about rap 2008 to present, it's who? Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick. That conversation don't come out of the sky. It comes from a real place. So before you start saying he don't got work, I'm gonna say listen to Good Kid, Mad City. Go listen to Pimple Butterfly and go listen to Damn. Goddamn, he got 3 classics. Because Damn is the one that won the Pulitzer. And Good Kid, Mad City and Pimple Butterfly are fucking undeniable classics in every conversation, in every room.
What's his time frame in the game?
13 years. That's enough to be in this list. And I think we forget that sometimes. 13 years, bro. 3 classic albums, Pulitzer Prize, my nigga.
My problem.
All of them was number 1 when they was released. Talk about Kendrick.
My problem with K. Dot is the pedestal he gets put up on, and how everybody be saying, like, acting like this kid is the greatest thing to happen to fucking hip hop since Grandmaster Flash. Like, I don't like when people get put on pedestals like that, because you need to really show me something. And like that flow of his that he always be trying to do, that's always not it. And that's just mad boring to listen to sometimes. Like, how can you listen to that for 25 songs straight? Good Kid, Mad City was good, but damn, like that shit was long, son. Like, why is he so long-winded? He might be the greatest long-winded rapper I've ever heard in my life.
We talked about 30 artists. This is the first time you ever try to make a point with your personal opinion. Shame on you. Because if you do that, then Eminem is not on this list. Because outside of your opinion, every nigga hate how Eminem rap. Everybody hate that choppy cadence that he does. Everybody hates it. That's not enough to knock what he's done in this game. Eminem is tier 1 because his body of work. So if you're gonna tell me you don't like Kendrick because you don't like how he sound, that's weird. You sound like a hater, bro.
I think Kendrick was put on that pedestal because he's in the West Coast. And I think a lot of people seem to forget that.
Talk about it.
And I get it because West Coast isn't known for the pen game, like as far as lyricism and you know, things like that. So Kendrick is, I think, one of the, it might be the pioneer for that West Coast for that. I think there's going to be a lot more that's going to come out of the West Coast that's going to start saying, all right, Kendrick's doing this. I'm gonna start getting a little deep in it too. And he's extremely creative. Like I give him that. Like to me personally, and excuse I gotta have surgery Friday, so excuse the list. But me personally, I think Kendrick is not in the same pedestal as Jay-Z and everybody else, though some people will feel like it, but I think he still needs to come with consistency as far as, I mean, 13 years is a long time to hang around in this game, especially right now. And we got to think about the era too, because right now everybody's like, let me get that one and I'm out.
Popcorn niggas. Yeah. Everybody's,
you know what I'm saying? Right now, bro. And he's living in that Drake era where if you put an album out, they listen to the first 3 and the rest is finito. But he went platinum. He went classic on 3 of them in this era.
The thing that you know, you can always retort.
Yo, you gotta see blackface as soon as you start.
I want Gabe to talk facts. He ain't say that about facts.
The one thing.
Tell me facts. How we don't? Does he meet the criteria on facts?
I guess, you know what I'm saying. But like for me, I think the one argument people would make, and it would be a true thing, is that the way he writes is very captivating. You know what I mean? It is. I have to say that. Right, because he does draw you in. He actually doesn't get credit. I don't think he gets really credit for like his storytelling, like his ability to draw that picture about what's going on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So like, I don't know if he even gets credit for that, because all I hear about how is he's got the dopest pen ever and he's the greatest thing since Grandmaster Flash, and how dare we not, you know, dip him in bronze and gold and shit.
Okay, I got it. You think niggas is under sausage too hard? Understood. But is he not great at what he does? How about that? Let's say he's not Grandmaster Flash, but is he not great?
No, he's really good at what he does. He is.
Is he not great at what he does?
He has.
Who is better in his contemporaries than he is at what he's doing? How about that? Because
number wise, no, not
numbers, bro. Talent wise, who is his peer group is better at what he's doing? Because if you can't name more than 2 people, that makes you fucking great, bro. Who 35 and under is as good as him at making music?
For me personally, I could probably name a bunch, but I'm gonna get ridiculed. I'll get ridiculed for
that's what I'm saying. It's personalized.
Though. You know what I'm saying? Like then it is personal. Bro. You know, then it is my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like,
who else got a Pulitzer?
Nobody.
Like, what are we saying? We got
nobody in your tier 1 got one, right? Nobody in your tier 1 got a Pulitzer.
I don't know.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. Like, that bar is already here. That bar is high, bro. Like Missy in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right? First female hip hop artist to do that, right? Bet. So when you try to pick apart her style and what she did, you can't, because her contemporaries, her peers already told you she was her. Permanently, right? Bet. So like when I say Kendrick got a Pulitzer, Kendrick got 3 classic albums out of 6. Talking about batting average, you got 3 not 3 good classic albums out of 6. Man, what are we talking about?
So where does he land on this list? Tier 2? Tier 1? Where are you trying to put him, Black?
Where would you put him? Because you was killing my man. So I just want to hear your take.
I say he could eke in the list. I put him like tier 4. Let him chill with Puff Daddy.
You were weird for that, G.
That shit hurt. That shit hurt.
The amount of hate in your blood right now. Sad.
Listen, I'm here.
Yo,
you
Big
are
Face,
there.
where you go on this list, bro? What do you think? If you had to place him, where would you put
2?
him? I don't even own it. Kendrick ain't my guy.
And I'm gonna keep it a buck. I was about to say I'm gonna keep it a buck. He's really not somebody that I don't have him like in my Spotify. I don't, but I'll listen to him. Like he got some shit. He's very creative.
But I recognize what he is.
Yeah, you got to. But for this era, he's very impactful for this era. Like to me, he keeps this era to what hip hop like really is.
He snapped them back in line with that one verse that he
had.
I feel
like that. I feel like
strong.
It was strong. What was the name of that
tier 2 as well. And I think I might be putting him lower because he ain't got 20 years in. Like if he had the amount of top 10s as Drake did, this won't be a conversation. But because he don't make a lot of pop crossover records that go crazy, that's why I think he's overlooked. His music is more like Nas than it is anybody else in that tier. If you compare him to them, right? Like Nas is not gonna make a bunch of you owe me's. He gonna make more shit that you can chew on. So I think that's what makes him overlooked. But the critics and his peers tell you, nah, Kendrick is him. And like you got to listen to people that are smarter than you, bro. Because I'm not a big Kendrick fan, but I recognize niggas that smarter than me tell me that, nah, he really got it. He really got it. You gotta take that in.
My fault. I'm back.
But that's just me.
So we did that. This list. Let's check this out.
I ain't gonna front. It's a solid list. I like how this is looking. I might need a copy of this so that every time I go to an interview, they ask me, like, look at this fucking list. Let's not even talk no more.
Listen, we've been taking our time with this, and we really do. We have these discussions, and I like the way it's going. So right now, I mean, if you walked out and you was walking with Jay-Z, Kanye, Drake, Eminem, Lil Wayne, Cool J, Missy Elliott, and T.I., you win, bro.
That's a strong list.
That's I mean, and then the other side came out and was like, yo, but I'm gonna bring Nas, Tupac, Nicki, Biggie, Luda, Snoop, and Kendrick.
Fucking crazy list. That list is crazy too.
That's like the starting five for the Boston Celtics. Like they probably could beat. Like if they made music right now, that shit would be crazy.
Check this out though. The way I read this list, Gabe, no funny. Look at the left list and then compare it like a matchup to the right list. Yeah. And like the only niggas that can beat the people on the right list is the niggas on the left. Like if you say Jay versus Nas, it's Jay. Kanye versus Tupac, it's absolutely Kanye. Drake versus Nicki, it's Drake. M versus Biggie, it's M. Wayne versus Luda, it's Wayne.
Yeah.
LL versus Snoop, give me LL. Missy versus Kendrick, I'm taking Missy. Like that's it. That's how I look at the list, bro. Tell me I'm wrong.
I like this breakdown. This shit definitely is it.
You know, and then not for nothing, man. Like, because you know what it is too. It's like when you're talking about this stuff, and we're gonna wrap this up in a few. But like when you're talking about this stuff, it's like there's been so many careers and so many artists and so many highlights over time that some people you hold in a nostalgic way because they hit you at a certain time in your life, so you hold them in a certain light. You know what I mean? But when you really start to break it down, man, like there's only 50 out of them. You know what I'm saying? So like out of hundreds of artists that have come along, you got to break it down to this 50, and that's what makes it so interesting. But
facts.
Puff Daddy chilling in tier 4.
He finna get some company. He's so interesting when you think about the fact that like he actually got a classic album with No Way Out, which is crazy. It's his album. You know what I mean? It ain't a collab album. It's Puff Daddy's album.
Which he wrote none of them fucking songs.
Right. None of them songs, but it's his shit. You know what I mean? So
then why not Dre in there?
No, it's different.
That's like another show. That's another show. My bad.
That's a different conversation.
That's
Dre don't got the music though. The solo music, he don't got it. Puffy got 7
Puffy
albums.
Don't either.
Puffy got 7 albums.
But he never wrote one song.
That's not the conversation though, Face. It ain't whether he did it or not. Because then nobody on this list but Jay. And maybe Wayne. Everybody else is invalid. Everybody.
It's true. My bad. Right.
I heard that tweet was writing the Missy records. Like I heard some of them. Like you know what I mean? We know that No Name niggas was writing Drake.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
A whole lot of sus on this list. You feel me? I heard that Young Dro was penning T.I. records. Like we can really get into it if you want to.
I heard that too.
But I'm not. It ain't even worth it. Everybody got writers, just like everybody got trainers and everybody got chefs in the NBA.
I'm gonna tell you who don't have a writer.
Who that?
Me. And my motherfucking single coming out June 9th. And this for the haters. I'm just throwing that out there. Everybody that hit me up on my DM saying I'm too old, don't let the gray beard fool you. I let the stove click and leave you looking like new. Listen, get to the motherfucking Black. Hear that single, and I want you to fucking comment on that single. Definitely want you. I like the way you get in there. Talk to me, Black.
You got it. I'm telling you right now, though. Like, listen, I'm really him. I'm one of the few niggas I don't cap. Like, I just talk about it how I talk about it. So
did you hear
if it's work, I'm gonna put it where it's supposed to be.
Though, Black? Small tatas? You ain't do the bachata when you heard that?
Nah, when you debuted that on in the rec boards and I watched that video, I was like, I see what you doing. But I don't do this because I'm a nigga. Like that ain't my, you know what I mean?
You're very racist.
I don't do this. I don't look. I don't do this.
You need to stop that. Stop that talk on my show. Yo, Big Face, man. I appreciate you joining us, brother.
Salute. I appreciate y'all, man.
You know what I mean? Look out for that new work coming from him. If you're not already following him, Benny, where can they follow you at?
Oh man, everywhere. Big Face Bennie on anything. One word. I always keep it simple. And then you can follow the label. Same thing. One word, simple. Big Face Music World. No spaces, no nothing. And then you can always follow my artist, Sila La Sicaria. One word. Young Viral. Same thing with a V though, not a U. YVNG. And I always put my artists first. So salute to them, and I appreciate everybody that tuned in with us today. Because Black was going in, we got to calm him down sometime. I know we got to calm him down, but it's all right. He's good. But I appreciate y'all though. Yeah, facts like that shit. Yo, I love it. Like it's very entertaining, bro. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for having me, man. Big time.
No, our pleasure, man. I knew it would be a good idea. So salute to you. Salute to the Rec Boys for making the connection and all that good stuff. Yes, Benny, be well, man. Peace, bro.
Y'all too. Peace, everybody.
Black, man, once again, we did that. Great combo today, brother.
I need a fucking Pulitzer. Like, I'm so good at this shit. You heard me? Receipts, bro. And it's in my brain. I'm not even in the Googles with it. I just got that knowledge. You heard me?
Great combo today. Go ahead.
I thought it went good. Mm-hmm. I respect that you talked me at a game real simple. You didn't even have to go deep. You just was like, here's a fact. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like I respect that because I was thinking the documentary so fucking hard. I respect that. Yeah. Yo, this list gonna be something. I expected it to be top heavy first because it's easy to have those conversations.
Yeah.
And I think as we get into it and start filling in the meat, that's when the shuffling gonna happen. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. Next week, so we went West Coast. I want to go New York.
Back to New York.
We're not back because we never went there. We just picked niggas we thought was already him.
Oh, well, that's true. A lot of them from New York. Yeah.
We went south, then we went west. I want to go to New York, and I got my 4. You ready?
Yeah.
I want to do Fat Joe. I want to do Ja Rule. Yeah. I want to do DMX the Great. I want to do FABO LOUS.
Oh, okay. I'm with it. I like that. That I think 75% of those are going in automatic. Let's go. Yo, for Blackout, for super producer Big Angie, for Louie, for Hazel, all that good stuff. Finally TV, what we talking about every Tuesday. Shout out to everybody listening on podcasts and all that good stuff. And salute to WAP the Music, Culture Shock Radio, Tattoo Shop Radio, and Cuzzo FM for playing this joint. You heard me? Peace.
Go Yankees.
Go Yankees.